What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to some more My Hero Academia Ultra Impact, and today we have a brand new character reveal on the official Twitter account, and we have our girl Jiro, aka Earphone Jack, finally coming to the game. So all you Jiro fans out there, throw your hands up in the air in the comment section in happiness and rejoice that she is finally being revealed for the game. And we do know her full kit and information because she was a part of the closed beta test, so we're going to go over all of that here in today's video. But before we go ahead and do that, you guys know the drill by now. Go down there, click that red subscribe button if you are new to the channel to join the Heroes and Villains community here today, as well as turn on all notifications for the channel, whether it be gameplay guides, showcases, summons, everything related to My Hero Academia Ultra Impact is going to be your best one-stop shop here on YouTube on this channel right here, as well as other My Hero Academia content such as The Strongest Hero and other stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get into it here today, guys. Jiro is revealed. Like I said, we do know her full kit and information. We know what her plus ultra attack animation looks like, so we're going to go over all of that. But before we do that, let's go ahead and read this tweet and kind of see what it says. So, Kyoka, Jiro, work Earphone Jack. So power down the opponent with a sound wave attack from the Earphone Jack and give confusion. So this, I believe that this is her plus ultra attack. We're going to take a look at her full translation kit in a second, which I am putting it on the wiki, by the way. So if you guys haven't checked out the wiki, link to be that down in the description down below. That way you have all the translations for characters and their kits and everything like that whenever the game does release. So I'll help you guys out. I'm doing it myself. So hopefully you guys do enjoy having the wiki as well when the game does come out. But Earphone Jack does give confusion, so she is going to give confusion on, I assume this is her plus ultra attack. I'm not entirely sure. I think she has two abilities that does give confusion, but I think this one specifically is talking about her plus ultra attack. So it does power down the opponent with a sound wave attack from the Earphone Jack and give confusion. So power down the opponent. I think that her plus ultra gives a power reduction. I think that is her plus ultra, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to look at that here in a second, but let's look at her art, by the way. She is an SR character, and I do believe she is yellow typing. We'll look here in a second. I do have it on the wiki already, but I believe she's yellow typing. She is an SR unit, and you can tell, as I say this in every video so far, you can kind of tell what character is going to be what rarity just based off of this little info page here that they're tweeting out, right? Because this screenshot kind of gives it away. When they have this screenshot image here, if it's just like a standard, you know, model just kind of posing in the standard background, you know, background drop and stuff like that, right? It's most likely an SR or lower. However, if this little screenshot looks like it's an attack animation or a really well done attack animation, it's most likely a UR, because usually for UR cards, they show off the plus ultra animation in a screenshot here. So that's one way you can kind of tell. Again, they could completely throw this off and just say, hey, nah, it's not actually like that at all. We just kind of did it that way just because convenience, right? I don't know. That seems like the way they are kind of doing it to kind of give us hints of what rarities these characters are. But this art is specifically for Jiro. This is her awakened art, and we'll go to show off her unawakened art here in a second. But this is her awakened art, and her awakened art looks really good. And this is, I believe, her outfit and costume before or during the USJ fight. So I do believe her costume has evolved over time, at least in the anime. I don't know about manga, but at least in the anime, I think she's made a couple changes, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but this, I believe, is the Jiro for the like during the USJ fight, right? So I think that might be it. But let's go ahead and take a look at her information. Again, this tweet says power down the opponent with a sound wave attack and give confusion. So let's see what this is. So her plus ultra, yes, she is a yellow typing. She is an SR rarity. I will update these stats right here once the game does fully release. That way I'm able to see and give out the proper stats, because I don't know at the time, because the beta test was only 3 days. So I did not have enough time to do every single character, and I did not get the chance to play with Jiro too much. So once Jiro and everything does drop in the full release, I will be doing showcases on these units as well, by the way. So her plus ultra attack, 350% damage to a single enemy. Enemy power decreased by 10% for 3 turns. Low chance of inflicting confusion. So this is most likely describing the plus ultra attack. So power down the opponent, which is power down, power reduction by 10% for 3 turns, which is this part right here. And then give confusion, which she has a low chance of inflicting confusion. So that is that right there. So that is most likely describing her plus ultra attack, but it could also be describing her action skill. which her plus ultra skill is called stereo speakers. And this is what her plus ultra animation is actually going to look like. So let's go ahead and play that for you guys right now. So that was her plus ultra attack. So nothing too crazy. I mean, obviously it's an SR unit, right? So it's not going to be super like amazing looking for an SR, but definitely if she gets a UR, that is going to be a really sick beast nasty animation, I'm sure, once she gets a UR unit in the future of the game. So that would be really interesting to see. I can't wait to see what other abilities I think the game is also giving characters unique kind of attacks just from the game itself. So we could see completely different moves that the anime and manga or whatever has never shown, right? So that's quite the possibility for characters as well. But yeah, her animation, I mean, it's really cool. I mean, all the animations in this game do look really well done and really cool. Again, SRs aren't going to be as top notch as URs. Obviously, that's kind of like every game, right? The higher the rarity, the better the animations, clearly. But again, still not bad animations overall, right? So again, so this tweet could be talking about her plus ultra attack animation, or it could be talking about her first action skill, which is earphone jack, which is 200% damage to a single enemy, reduces the power of a single enemy by 10% for 3 turns, and a low chance of giving confusion to a single enemy. So that could be also her action skill. It could be describing either one, which is really weird because it's the same ability twice almost in a way, but that's what it translated to. This is literally like her action skill and her plus ultra are near about identical, except for the amount of damage it does to a single enemy. So it's really weird that they did it this way. I don't know. I mean, I guess, again, even if it's the same ability, and it's a cooldown of 4 turns for this skill, by the way. But having this ability here, so if you knock off this earphone jack ability, getting that reduction of 10% for 3 turns, then you knock off this one, that I think they do stack. Again, I'll do a showcase kind of testing this as well in the future, but I do believe that if you get this one off and then you happen to have a turn where you're getting the plus ultra the next turn, then you could also knock off this enemy reduction of 10% as well. So then that way you're getting another 10%, giving it 20% power reduction to the enemy, and you have low chance here, but a UR most likely would be medium and then low, I would imagine. So a UR would probably have a medium chance in the plus ultra, but because this is an SR, low chance of confusion is all right. And confusion, I do believe, if it's like Pokemon, right, to where if a Pokemon has confusion, it hurts itself. I do believe the same mechanic kind of works in Ultra Impact as well, kind of the similar thing. So if they are confused, they have a chance of hitting themselves. But a low chance, I don't know what percentage low chance, medium chance, and high chances. I assume low chance is like 10, 15, 20%. Medium chance, 25, 30, 35%. High chance, 40, 45, 50%, something like that. I assume that's kind of how it's going to go in terms of percentage wise. We'll just have to test this and see how often the low chance confusion kind of hits. Then she has an action skill, which is just like a power up. Recovers 45% of HP of a single ally, and then increases the plus ultra gauge of a single ally by 10%, and that's a cooldown of 6 turns. So she's actually kind of useful. She is a healer, not quite as good as Ochako. Ochako being a UR, she also has the ability to recover HP for all allies. But Jiro not only is giving you HP recovery, but also giving you a plus ultra gauge increase. So that is going to be pretty well done, considering that if you need plus ultra attacks on some of these units, let's say you have her on your team, and just let's go over her passive real quick. Her auto skill, which increases the critical rate of all ally faith types or yellow type by 10% for 3 turns. So her passive skill, she's going to be better run most likely on a yellow team, which there are quite a few yellow characters. There's All Might, there's who else is there? There's a Deku, I do believe. There is a Deku, I think. Let me take a look here. I do believe that there is a yellow Deku, right? Yeah, yellow All Might. There we go. We got yellow Deku, Jiro, and that's it. That's all I have on the wiki so far. I do believe there are a couple more, but in terms of yellow teams, especially with Deku, All Might, she might be decent, especially if you want to get off that plus ultra attack a little bit quicker, and especially if you need an HP recovery. If you're kind of dealing with a harder fight, Jiro can kind of be like, I think she would mainly fit. She could be a staple on the main team She would also probably be a decent sub unit to run on your team as well, kind of like a last resort, or your first like the first sub unit that comes in. She would probably be a good spot for that. But if you're also kind of like running free-to-play teams and you're not, you know, summoning too much or anything like that, you happen to get Jiro, that HP recovery is going to be really good, especially for fights. And then getting that plus ultra gauge, allowing you to get plus ultra attack quicker. And then also kind of combining that with the power reduction. I think this is I mean, again, all SRs, all rarities have some spot in the game somewhere. They all have a spot somewhere. And because we just got the Ida reveal quite recently, which check out the Ida reveal video down in the description down below. The Ida reveal did show off that he is his passive is he increases the power. Is it the power or speed? It's one of them. I think it's speed, I think. So Ida increases all allies who are class 1A students by X%, right? So Ida is a class 1A buffer for his passive. So Jiro would actually be a unit to run alongside him because of that class 1A power buff or auto skill buff that he gets for those characters, right? So Jiro would definitely fit well with him. Again, she would also fit well with the other yellow characters like All Might, the yellow SR Deku, and whatever other yellow characters we get in the future of the game as well. Definitely would help with that, especially increasing crit rate. That higher crit rate going to be dealing a lot more crits more often, at least for 3 turns, right? So that's that. Again, she has that HP recovery. It is decent to have an HP healer on your team. Definitely is going to be, your team is most likely going to want a healer of some sort somewhere on your team at some point, especially in these harder fights. So not only giving, even if it's only a single ally, that single ally could be like life or death situation of your team. So Jiro definitely would have a spot somewhere. And then she also has that plus ultra gauge ability to increase the plus ultra gauge by 10%. So not only you're healing, you're getting that plus ultra gauge. Again, be beneficial to if you need to deal off massive amounts of damage, especially if you have characters that are stacking attack, stacking power, stacking speed, stuff like that. Jiro can help you get that plus ultra gauge a little bit quicker to then deal off that stack damage to your enemy and kind of get your fight over with a little bit quicker. So there's kind of a plus and a downside to it. Again, the downside is that she's only doing it to a single ally. I don't know if that single ally is automatically chosen or you specifically get to choose it. Again, I didn't actually get to play with Jiro too much to know how that actually works, but I will have a showcase, like I said, in the future, so just be aware of that. Once Jiro does come out, I will be able to test that out and show you guys how that actually works. But again, I don't know if it's automatically choosing an ally for you or if you specifically get to choose the ally yourself. I would imagine the best way to go about it would be you get to choose the ally, unless you have like the auto button turned on. If you have the auto button turned on, then the game can do it for you. But if you don't have auto button, if you're not running an auto or anything like that, I would imagine that you could hopefully get to pick it. My hope is that you get to pick it. If not, then that's kind of a, it's not so great. It's good, it's still a good skill, but it's not as great as it would have been if you specifically would be able to get to choose it, right? So there's an up and a downside to that ability, and that's kind of my thought on it. Again, her action skill and her plus ultra are nearly basically identical to each other. So, you know, again, if these power reductions stack, that's gonna be really good. So you're gonna get that 20% power reduction for 3 turns. And you're also getting double chance of confusion. So even if it's low chance, you're getting a possible confusion with this, getting your plus ultra off. After that, if this fails to get confusion, then you have another chance to get confusion off. And then also passing by 4 turns, then you get another chance, and hopefully you get your plus ultra attack added as well. Also, if you wanted to go back and forth between these two, I don't know if this works on herself. If you're able to, if you're able to choose who this works on, I don't, based on the wording, I don't think you can choose yourself. But if you could choose yourself, that would be kind of broken, because not only would you do this, recover your HP, get your plus ultra quicker, do this, then get your plus ultra off to go back to this, do this, go back to this. You're kind of going in like an unlimited cycle almost. That cooldown of 6 turns obviously kind of nerfs it a little bit, right? Kind of, you know, drops the ability to use it quite frequently. But still, I don't, just based on the wording though, I do not believe that this would work on herself, right? So that's another thing. Another thing, like I said, if it works to where you can choose the ally or it automatically chooses for you, that's another thing that we have to look out for. But having the plus ultra and the action skill kind of the same thing really does, I think that's kind of cool. Obviously it's kind of repetitive looking, but at the same time for Jiro, that does kind of play into where that could be beneficial, because you're having that low chance and you have another low chance, you're getting that power reduction. It's really good, really useful. Again, once we have more like another Jiro come out in the future and stuff like that, we'll see more different abilities probably come from her as well. Also, this is her unawakened dart right here. I forgot to mention, this is her unawakened dart. And then in the tweet here, this is her awakened dart. So that is going to be Jiro. Everybody, let me know your thoughts and opinions on Jiro down in the comments down below. Do you think she's good? I think she's decent. Again, we will test her in a showcase in the future once the game does come out. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Click that bell, turn on all notifications if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic day.